Hi everybody, this is Oliver. We're continuing with section 2.1. We're doing practice C today. Section 2.1 is about using integers and rational numbers and graphing them and comparing positive and negative numbers. So let's start. Number 1 through 3, graph the numbers on a number line, then order the numbers from least to greatest. Okay, so number 1 we have 4, -2, and 0. Yeah, so we graph the numbers and then order the numbers from least to greatest. So as we're moving to the right of the number line, the numbers increase. So the least number is -2, so it's -2, and then 0, and then 4. Okay. Number 2, let's graph them. -8 is right there. 7 this is 6, so 7 is right there. This is 7, and then -3. This is -2, and then -3 is right there. Okay, so order the numbers from least to greatest. Is -8, and then -3, and then 7. Number 3, -6, -4, and 5. So 5 is right there, and then order them. So -6 first, -4. And then 5. Tell whether each number in the list is a whole number, an integer, or a rational number. Okay, so we have whole numbers, integer numbers, or rational numbers. So number 4, -2.1, that's not a whole number. Whole numbers, we know 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to plus infinity. So first one is not, 3/8 is not, 0.3 is not, -2 is not. So we don't have any whole numbers. Integers, -infinity all the way to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to plus infinity. So the first one is not, second is not, third is not, -2 is. So -2 is an integer. Rational numbers, all 4 are rational numbers. So -2.1, 3/8, 0.3, and -2. Then order the numbers from least to greatest. Okay, so we have 2 negative numbers on the number line. Which one is to the left of the other? -2.1. So -2.1 is the least. So -2.1, then -2. And then we have 2 left, 3/8 and 0.3. 3/8, you can do that in the calculator, or you can compute 3/8. Let's say 3/8 is 0.375. So 0.375 is going to be to the right of 0.3. So 0.3 comes first, and then 0.375 or 3/8. Okay. Number 5, whole numbers. First one is not, second one is not, third one is not, fourth one is not, so none. Integers, first one is not, second one is not, third one is not, fourth one is not, so we have none. And then rational numbers, we have all 4. So rational numbers are all 4. All 4. And then order the numbers from least to greatest. We have 2 negative numbers. -2/3 is 0.666666. So -0.67 is to the left of -0.6666. So -0.67 is first. So -0.67 is first, and then -2/3. And then we have 0.7 that comes next, and then 1.6. Okay, this is that one. Number 6, whole numbers. The first one is not, second one is not, third one is not, fourth one is not, so none. Integers, first one is not, second one is not, third one is not, fourth one is not, so none. And rational, all 4. Okay. And then order the numbers from least to greatest. We have 1 negative, so So minus 5/4, that comes first, the negative numbers. And then we have 0.25, 1.3. So we know 1.3 is to the right of 0.25. How about 1/8? So let's see. 1/8, that's 0.125. So that one comes next, right? So 1/8 comes next because that's 0.125, then 0.25, 0.25, and then 1.3. Okay. All right. Numbers 7 and 8, identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the conditional statement. So we know a conditional statement has a hypothesis and a conclusion. Something like, if this, then that. If this is hypothesis, that is a conclusion. So for number 7, number is rational. If a number is rational, that's the hypothesis. Then the number is an integer. The number is an integer, that's the conclusion. Then tell whether the statement is true or false. Okay, so let's see. If a number is rational, okay, then the number is an integer. This is false. Why? Because 1/2 is a rational number, but it is not an integer. Okay, so that's the counter example that we gave. So this would be false. Number 8, if the opposite of a number is positive, then 1/2 of the number is positive. So the hypothesis is the opposite of a number is positive. The conclusion is 1/2 of the number is positive. Okay. So if the opposite of a number is positive, so on the number line, right, we have 0, let's say it's -3. So if the opposite of a number is positive, so the opposite of -3 is +3, okay, then 1/2 of the number, so 1/2 of -3, 1/2 of -3 is positive. That's not true, because 1/2 of -3 is -3/2. Okay, so this is false, and that's the counter example that we're giving, because if we're choosing -3, right, so the opposite of number 3, -3 is positive, that's correct, then 1/2 of that -3 is negative, not positive. Okay, so that's the counterexample. Number 9, tell whether the statement is always, sometimes, or never true for any non-zero integer x. Okay, non-zero integer x. So we have integer x and integers -3, -2, -0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to plus infinity. Those are the integers. Now non-zero integers, so we're excluding 0, but all the other integers are in play. And then for number 9, we have square root of x, okay, is a rational number. Okay, so let's choose some numbers. Okay, so let's do square root of 9. That's a square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 is a rational number. But what about square root of 5? That's called, we'll come back to that later, but that's called irrational number. How about square root of -25? That's called imaginary number, right? So this is sometimes true. This is sometimes true. And in later chapters, we'll get to irrational numbers and imaginary numbers. Okay, number 10, absolute value of x minus x is 0. Okay, so let's choose two values. So this was number 9, number 10 right here. So let's choose two values. Let's choose x is negative number, and then let's choose x positive number. So let's see. Number 10 is absolute value of x minus x, absolute value of x minus x. So absolute value of -3, so okay, so absolute value of -3, and then minus -3, right? Absolute value of a negative or a positive number is a positive number. So absolute value of -3 is 3. So 3, and then minus 3 is +3. So this becomes 6. Next one, if x is 3, we have absolute value of 3 minus x is 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3 minus 3 is 0. So is 0 sometimes, but sometimes we get different numbers. So this is also sometimes true. Sometimes true. Okay, number 11. Minus. Let's choose two values for x. So let's choose again minus 3 and then positive 3. We're doing minus absolute value of minus x. Okay, so if it's minus 3, we have minus and then absolute value of minus and then x is minus 3. So we have this minus and then absolute value of positive or negative numbers is positive numbers. So this is just 3. Okay, so we get minus 3. Next one, x is 3. We have this, so we have minus absolute value of minus x is 3. Okay, so that is absolute value of minus 3 is 3. So we have minus 3. Now, is it x minus 3 minus 3? Yes, here, but 3 we get minus 3. So it's sometimes. Sometimes. Okay. Evaluate the expression when x equals minus 6.25. So square root of minus 6.25 is positive 6.25. Then minus 5.25 equals 1. So 1 is the answer for 12. 13, this is 8 times. We know that absolute value of positive or negative number is a positive number. So this is absolute value of minus 6.25 is 6.25. So 8 times 6, 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 0.25 is 2. So this is 50. That's for 13. 14, absolute value of minus 6.25. So this is just 6.25. And then plus minus, and then x is minus 6.25. So that we have two minuses, that becomes plus. So plus 6.25. Now this is 6 and 6 is 12, and 0.25 and 0.25 is 0.5. So it's 12.5. 12.5. 15, bank account. The activity on your bank account during a week-long period is shown in the table. A positive amount indicates a deposit. So we have 1 deposit, 2 deposits, 3 deposits. And a negative amount indicates a withdrawal. That's 1 withdrawal, 2 withdrawal, 3 withdrawals. Which transaction increased the amount in your account the most? Okay, we're looking for the highest or the greatest number. That is 212, right? Because 150 is less than 212. This is negative. All the numbers are less than 212. So which transaction increased the amount in your account the most? That's transaction 3. So this is transaction 3. Which transaction decreased the amount in your account the most? This is the least, the lowest number. So that's going to be one of the negatives, right? And that's going to be transaction 4, this one right here. So transaction 4, because it's minus 75. That's the smallest, the lowest number from all the numbers. Did you deposit more money than you withdraw? Okay, so now we have to count, add up the deposits and add up the withdrawals and see which one is larger. So deposits, we have 150, about 200, so that's about 350, and then 200, about 550. Now we're not gonna exactly calculate, just to see if it's 550 and 540. Yes, sure, we can do it in the calculator or just add up the numbers. But if it's 500 and 100, you can see right away quickly answer this question, because it just says yes or no. You don't have to exactly tell by how much. So withdrawals, we have number 2, so that's about minus 57, let's say 60, and then 75, that's about 130, and then 50, 180, about 180. So the difference is huge, right? So we know that we deposited more than you withdraw. So did you deposit more money than you withdrew? Yes. And that's it. That's all we have to say, yes or no. We don't have to calculate the exact amount. Number 16, time zones. The table shows the time differences in hours of several cities from the time in Paris, France. Positive numbers represent locations ahead of Paris. Negative numbers represent locations behind Paris. Which locations experience midnight after Paris? Okay, so that's one question. If it is midnight in Paris, write the locations in order from before midnight to after midnight. So that's second question. If it is 3 a.m. in Paris, write the corresponding times at the other locations. So that's third question. So we have 3 questions regarding this problem. So the easiest is to draw these or plot them on a number line. So we have Paris at midnight. So this is Paris at midnight, 12 a.m. Oh, that's the 0. And then we have Beijing is positive. This is the only positive. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 hours ahead. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours ahead is Beijing. This is Paris here, then Beijing is here. So this is Beijing. So if this is 12 a.m. midnight, 7 hours ahead, this is 7 a.m. right? Next day, so 12 midnight, and then it's 7 a.m. in the morning already in Beijing. Then let's do the negative numbers. Let's plot the negative numbers. So I have the negative numbers are to the left on the number line. So we have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, and then -10. -1 is London, so this is London here. London, so this is midnight, this is 11 p.m. at London. It's 1 hour behind, -1 hour. Then we have -5, that's Buenos Aires, so -5 is right there. This is Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires. If it's 12 a.m. midnight, 5 hours before that would be 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And then next is New York, -6. So this is New York here. New York. So this is 7 p.m. This is 6 p.m. 1 hour before that. Then we have Los Angeles, -9. This is here. -9. This is Los Angeles. So if this is 6 p.m. New York, then this is 5 p.m., 4 p.m., 3 p.m. So Los Angeles is 3 p.m. And then lastly, we have Honolulu, -10. So this is Honolulu. Honolulu. So if this is 3 p.m., this is 2 p.m. All right. Now this is the hardest part. That's what we just did. Okay. Now the 3 questions that we have to answer hopefully go easier, much easier. So the first question: which locations experience midnight after Paris? So when it's midnight here at Paris, these locations to the left have not experienced midnight, will experience midnight after Paris. Which ones are those? Honolulu, Los Angeles, New York, Honolulu, Los Angeles, New York, Buenos Aires, and London. Okay, that's the answer to the first question. Second question, write the locations in order from before midnight, so from here, from before midnight to after midnight, okay? So it would be Honolulu, Los Angeles, New York, Buenos Aires, London, Paris, Beijing. That's the answer to the second question. The third question, if it is 3 a.m. in Paris, okay, so Paris, it's 12 a.m., but what if it is 3 a.m.? So that means it's plus 3 hours. We're adding 3 hours to Paris. Then it says write the corresponding times at the other locations. Okay, so we have to add 3 hours to all the locations. So Honolulu, instead of 2 p.m. would be plus 3 hours. It would be 5 p.m. So this Honolulu would be 5 p.m. Los Angeles, 3 p.m. it's now plus 3 hours would be 6 p.m. Okay. New York, it is 6 p.m. now, plus 3 hours will be 9 p.m. Buenos Aires, it is 7 p.m. When you add 3 hours, would be 10 p.m. London, it is 11 p.m., 1 hour before midnight. It is 11 p.m. When you add 3 hours, it would be 1 hour to midnight and then 2 hours after midnight. So it would be 2 a.m. 2 a.m. at London. Paris, 3 a.m. It would be 3 a.m., right? And then Beijing, it's 7 a.m. When you add 3 hours, it would be 10 a.m. That's the answer to the third question. All right, so that's all for today. If you'd like to see more videos, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.